Trading stocks is incredibly difficult. Um, it seems to me that I had to cross an incredible divide where emotion had to be tackled before any reasonable and logic can be used to smartly trade the stocks. Once I've conquered emotion, then I can truly figure out the technicals of the market and trade the stocks properly. But until then, these emotions perks up and causes instinctual behaviors to enter. It seems so simple. Buy and sell. It's just so simple, right? Buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game. It is so simple, and the stocks move up and down all the time, every second, every moment, every day, every week, every month, every year, and moves in large amounts. But it moves, initially it looks to be a random way. The trick is to figure out and decipher how to translate that random movement into logical movements, so that when I see it in its infancy, that I can figure out how to stage my trade so that I can take advantage of that movement that will unfold from translating that random movement into a reasonable and logical thesis. The other part is, even though it's a buy and sell scenario, I've noticed that if I make certain trades, I will be incorrect several times, even if I'm extremely careful. That means that I have to figure out how to cut losses very quick. Unless I figure this out, then I will not be able to have a successful day trade. I can be, again, 99% successful, and yet that 1% could wipe out all that 99%. So in order to, what is this cutting fast is incredibly difficult, because there's a drawdown that must be, there's always a drawdown, and rarely will there be no drawdowns whatsoever. So if there is a drawdown, then what do I say is the how do I determine where the point where the cutting fast the trade, where does that occur? So I have to figure this out. I haven't really thought about this yet, but I need to figure this out, because so somehow it's related to the thesis. When I have a thesis, after I have a thesis, then I expect the stock to move a certain amount, and then it should go in the direction of the thesis. But if it actually is outside of that movement, then I need to cut it. Or maybe it just moves in the other direction when I place the trade, and so I should just get out anyway. So I have to correctly assess and define how I make sure that I cut losses fast, because just like today, I was up a little bit, but this one trade out of those 3 trades that I made just evaporated all the gains that I have, and then some. And when I look back on that trade, uh, I could have cut losses way early. It should have been cut earlier, but I did not do that. So what? How do I? How do I make sure that I cut losses quick? How do I do that? That's something I don't know how to do. It seems so simple. So at the same time, I had three trades going at the same time. So I was able to wait for one and then got out. Wait for the second one and got out. And the third one, I just held on to it because I had this gain. So it seems to me it's some sort of related. These things are just related to the psychological thing as well. It seems to be very. It seems to be incredibly related to like a FOMO or something. Something is causing me not to cut my losses. Something is making me hold it, even though at the back of my mind I'm thinking, it's just gonna keep going down, and I'll most likely sell it at the low of the day, and I will suffer a significant amount of losses. So I have this thought in the back of my mind, and yet I cannot bring that forth to take action on that particular stock. So it seems to be related to FOMO. So how do I stop that? I need to figure out how to stop that. There's I'm not sure how to do that. I'm not sure unless I wrote a code. If I wrote a code that automatically trades without emotion whatsoever, and when it reaches a certain percentage, it just cuts no matter what, then that's automatic, right? So if I use maybe some sort of a Python code to trade for me, then it'll just cut quick and it'll be over with. And yet, the fingers that I use and the thought that's in my mind to make these trades will not do it. It's incredibly. I'm not sure how long it's going to. I am not sure how long it's going to take me to figure that out. See, I know what I need to do, but I cannot do it. I know what needs to be done, but it's not being done. Okay, so I'm just at the moment, I would look at the stock and it would just droop, and it would go past a certain point. I have not set the point. That's the problem. I did not set a limit where it says, okay, it's going to sell at this point. I did not set an OCO order. That's why. The only way for me to figure this out is to set an OCO. Even though the OCO order, these people charge an enormous amount of money to do the OCO trade, because once it hits the limit, they'll set it like 10 or 20. I mean, they charge an enormous amount of money to get that set up. I've seen this several times. So if the option price is if the option price is $7, okay, if the option price is $7, and I set the limit to about $1, okay, below the $7, they would tack on another 70 cents or $70 to make it to the $170 loss. So I've seen that happen. So when I looked at the market value, it was actually $1, but they sold it under by $70. So there's some interesting, very underhand. It seems to be an underhanded, unfair practice on the retail trader. So they do that. So that means that if I set it above, then they're going to just drop it down even further. So I'm not sure how that's going to be handled. Even a stock, something that's liquid as Apple, the practice of setting it like $15 below wherever the market value is, I've seen it before. And that means that these people who are taking care of these trades are pocketing that amount free. Okay, so they must be taking care of it like several percentages right below where the actual price is so they can sell it. I think that's what's happening. So they're scalping. They're scalping the stop losses that I set by a significant amount. An amount that is disturbingly high. Okay, that's disturbingly high. So the options that I have is this. If I am unable to set the OCO to make the sale, then I need to make sure, as a day trader, I need to use my finger to do this. But if I use my finger to do that, then I have to have this mental stop in my mind. And when that mental stop is, I need to figure out what that mental stop is. And once I figured out what that mental stop is, I have to have it registered in my instinctual side and also in my subconscious side and the logical side, so that when that event occurs, that I can just click and get out without emotion at all. So I need to separate that emotion when I make that trade. So that I need to make that a habit. If I can make that a habit, then I'll have the first part where the massive losses can be blocked. If I can block that massive loss, then I can have it automatic that I can move forward and move forward from small loss to a small gain. Once I cross that small gain, then the work of gaining large amounts can be easier, it can be had. But unless I cross that road, unless I figure that out first, it's impossible to make any money whatsoever. I need to figure out how to cut my losses fast. So initially, either I have to force myself, but it is very difficult to force myself when I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, I'm the owner, I'm the business owner, I'm the one who's making the decisions, and I cannot make myself do something like that. It's very, very odd. It's truly incredibly difficult to make myself do that. It's incredibly difficult. I would communicate with my trading buddy, and I would write it down in my journal, and then I would emotionally express my concerns, and I would say to myself, this is what's going to happen. That morning I would say that, and I would send it out to other people to say to them that this is what I'm going to do, and yet I will not do that. It's an incredibly fascinating. It's incredibly very, very difficult to make me do something that is beneficial to me, and I just watch it happen. I just watch it happen as it just goes and goes and goes, and I will not do anything about it. It's it is one of the most I say it is one of the most difficult thing to understand. It's all psychological. I'm not sure what to do about that. I don't know. I'm not sure how to fix that.